My dear dark ones, welcome to my channel. Today I'm using my tarot to look for deeper, meaningful answers to questions that you might have. Today I want to go from surface level predictions to exploring questions that you might ask, and you usually ask during the readings, but it is very difficult to ask for a collective reading because this is something that's very unique and niche on social media. I want to find answers to three very specific questions. The first question is, why are you alive right now in this specific historical moment? And second question I want to ask is, what is the lesson in your sufferings? And the last question, what is your soul story, your soul's journey, your soul's myth? And these questions, because they are so specific to you, I want you to choose a pile. Because sometimes I say it's a collective reading and I want you to listen through both of the piles. But today I really want you to choose one pile and listen to the message that will come in this specific pile. And I hope it will resonate with you, and I hope you get the answers to very deep, meaningful questions that you might have, but you never knew how to ask or where to ask. I hope this is something that you are interested in watching or hearing the messages about. And please let me know in the comment sections if there are any other questions that you might have, like very deep philosophical questions maybe, or questions for the collective that you want me to address in my future readings. And let's start. I hope you had time to choose your pile. I will go with this one as a first pile and the Hermetic Tarot as my second pile. I shuffled the deck, and right away I want to tell you that if you felt like very drawn to the first deck, there is something unusual and unique about you, and you always question things, and having deep philosophical questions is something very natural to you, and you ask very unusual questions, and you're probably really interesting in a conversation, and you probably lack friendship in your life because this deck, it's a very lonely energy because of the things you say or think about, because of your ability to be always misunderstood or not heard. And this deck represents very deep people, very witchy, mysterious, unique. And if this resonates with you, it is the right place for you and the right deck to choose for sure. So I want to start with the first question. Why are you alive right now in this moment of history? First of all, I see that this is not your favorite time in history. This is not your era. I feel like mentally you are in the past or in the future. It's like you are too innovative for this era, or you are too into technology, into future, but also you feel very drawn to ancient times, to different eras. You're probably this person who has a specific fascination with one era, that it could be, you know, like 18th century Roman Empire, it could be Mesopotamia, maybe you're into Anunnaki, or maybe you're into interesting period of time, or specifically king or specific dates, and you're very, very attuned to this era. Maybe you're into ancient Egypt. And this, I feel, this era, this time, this specific lifetime, feels that you are out of your place, that you don't belong, you don't realize why you're here, you don't understand your purpose of being here, and why now, right? You might dislike this period of time so much, but the main reason why you're here, it is because you follow your soulmate. You have a, I would say, contract maybe, but it's not like a contract, maybe a promise to someone that you always reincarnate with them, and you always come back here to earth, no matter when they are incarnated. That's when you come as well. So probably you are here because you're following someone very special, someone that you probably meet in your every reincarnation, And this person is reason why you're here. And in your situation, it's not a love relationship. It could be a friend that you follow, that you have such a deep connection. It could be your relative, your brother or your sister. It could be your mother, father. It could be even your grandmom or your grandfather. It could be anyone so unique and so special that when I say this, it resonates like so deep, on such a deep level, right? And this person is the reason why you're here, and you should blame them for dragging you here into this reincarnation again, probably even against your will, but being with this person is the most important thing for you and for your soul, and that's why you're here. And probably you're going to reincarnate again and meet this person again, and it's going to be a place that your person again chooses, and it's going to be a time frame. You have this interesting ability to shift in time, so it's not necessarily means that your next reincarnation will be in the future. Your next reincarnation might be in the past. So let it think into your minds. So maybe next time you two together can choose a specific era you want to revisit and you want to live in again. Okay, interesting, but let's move to the second question. Second question is, what is the lesson in your suffering? I feel like we all suffer at one point or another in our life. We all suffer because there is so much actually suffering in this world, and injustice, and people who are empathic, intuitive. You guys go through so much suffering on daily basis because you see a lot of like negative things that are happening on our planet, and your personal suffering, something that is very unique to you, why it is happening, and what is the lesson. It is very interesting for you. Everything that you personally go through, even if it's a mental suffering, physical, spiritual suffering, it is something that is needed for you to actually hone your power. This is something that you can use to help people. This is your experience that you can use to actually make a difference. You are very interesting. You're either a born healer that is not using their power, their energy, or you are this person who can change the life for the better. You are maybe an animal activist, maybe you are into a very unusual diet, like maybe you're vegan, maybe you're raw vegan, maybe you're plant-based, maybe you're into ecology, maybe you are into saving the planet kind of movements. You probably like to donate your money for charity. You are trying every day to make this world a better place, and even if you don't have an opportunity to do it through your money or through physical acts, but you do it through your minds. Like, for example, you pray for the planet, you pray for animals, maybe you feed animals, maybe you try to take pets from shelters. Whatever it is you do, this is actually helping to change the world for the better. You know, sometimes people think that in order to change the world, we have to do something big, something great. But if we all concentrate on something that we can do every day, and it won't even cost us a lot, maybe it's just a smile, or maybe being supportive or helping someone cross the street. If every person on the planet will do a good deed every day, can you imagine how much our planet, our home will become better? Just because everyone will be doing something good, right? Instead of sending negativity into the universe, we'll be sending positivity and positive thoughts and positive deeds. So the main lesson in your sufferings, it is your ability to understand what people are going through, what is the universe going through, and through your empathy, you can make it all better. You can heal the planet, you can heal other people. So it's your experience, right? Because if you take on a job, you always ask for experience, and to be someone who changes the planet, who changes the universe, you also need to have an experience. And you're experiencing all of those things, even if it's something small, maybe like bad neighbors, or if it's some unfairness that you see, it is because you will work on that in the future, and you will try to change all of these things that disturb you for the better. And the last question for the first pile: what is your soul's myth or purpose or legend? This is a very interesting question, because I feel like we think that by living in this reincarnation, we are creating a story, right? It's like our own book that we're writing through our own life. But I feel like our souls, they are so much more divine and bigger, and our souls been through so many reincarnations and through so many things. And knowing what it is, the story, the myth of our soul, it is so interesting and it's so important, because I don't think that enough people actually think about that, about the bigger meaning of their soul, the bigger meaning of their reincarnations and coming back to life. So let's see what's yours. I'm pulling more cards because I want to see the story. I want to see what it is all about. Your soul is so unusual. As I can see through all of these cards, you are always reincarnate to help and to heal. Every reincarnation, you have a very specific gift, a very unique gift. You never spend the reincarnation just doing nothing and being a normal member of society. You always had a higher purpose. Either you were a witch, a healer, a witch doctor, an oracle, a philosopher, a teacher, guru. Maybe you've been in the medical field. Maybe you were one who invented something in the medicine. Maybe you've been the one who went to war and saved hundreds of souls. Every reincarnation, you are dedicated to help the humanity. And it's like you feel this calling, and you realize that even in this reincarnation, there is something bigger waiting for you, and that's why you can be peaceful. That's why you can be satisfied with things that you have, or with the job that you have, with the situation that you live in. There is always something like this need for more. You always feel that no matter how good your life is at this moment, no matter how much you have, the most important thing, something that actually can make you happy and fulfilled, is missing. And your fulfillment, your happiness, comes from your ability to help the humanity, to help the universe, to help everyone that is around you. So your soul is always helping. You are this being, I would say, spiritual being, experiencing the human body every time you reincarnate, because through the abilities that your human body get by being reborn into specific region or specific country or specific city, it is because you heal the specific spot, you heal the specific place, neighborhood, you heal parents that you are born to, that you choose to come back to, or you choose your specific environment. Maybe it is through your energy. You go to a forest that you heal because you see that the forest is dying, or maybe you help stray animals around you. And it's very interesting because your soul is so developed that even though it doesn't make sense to you why you are at this specific location at this time, but it is because you chose to heal this specific spot. Your soul is very connected to this planet. You feel the energy of Mother Gaia. And every time when you choose your next destination for the reincarnation, you choose the spot that is very weak. So by you being born into the spot, you heal it. And by being born exactly there, it may give you opportunities maybe to travel to another destinations for you being able to heal them or make them better. And everything in your life is predestined centuries ago, because your soul chooses so carefully where to send you, where to send your future physical body. I hope it makes sense to you because you're such a complex, unique being, and you're not a human who is experiencing your soul, your divine being, right? You're a divine being, you're a divine, intelligent creature who is experiencing a human body in this specific reincarnation. I feel like your soul has thousands of stories and myths, and maybe in the past you wrote so many books on traveling, so many books on medicine, and so many interesting occult grimoires, and that's why in this reincarnation you're so drawn to the same things. You're still drawn to traveling, still drawn to books, to antique stores, you're still drawn to interesting objects, you're drawn to even the medicine in a way that you always try to heal your body. Maybe you don't believe in hospitals and doctors, but you always look for things that you can consume that will make you healthier, or interesting techniques that you can do at home, maybe yoga, meditation, maybe breath work. All of these things, all of these tiny, tiny things, they give you a glimpse into the bigger picture of what your soul is really like. And I want you today realize that you are so magnificent, and you can't even comprehend the greatness of what you are, of who you are. What have you done in the past? And it is enough for you to know that in this reincarnation, no matter what is happening, your future will be so much better than you think. And the universe will give you everything you desire if you continue to grow personally, if you continue this task, your destiny of changing everything one step at a time. And I want to stop now and let me know if this is actually resonates, if there are things that I touched that actually, cuts deep your heart and make you think. I would really appreciate your, actually anything that you want to share with me. And now I will move to the second pile. My dear dark ones, welcome to my second pile. This is a hermetic deck, so if you actually felt like really drawn to it, it tells me that you're very strong, you're very deep-rooted into a mysterious side of life. You walk the bridge between the seen and the unseen. And sometimes you have this ability to see, to look behind the veil. So probably whatever am I doing, you can do as well. And even if I'm going to tell you something, probably there is nothing new that you will hear, because you have very strong understanding of your own soul and your own destiny. But still, let's have some fun and let's see what the cards are going to tell me in regards of your destiny, of your reason to being alive right now in this exact moment in history. And I wonder what it is. Looking at the cards, I suspect that you are more unusual and more mysterious than I can think. And the main reason why you are here is for for knowledge. You seek for answers, you seek for unusual things, you seek the forbidden knowledge, and your ancient Egyptian soul is looking for magic, is looking for occult knowledge, is looking for hidden meanings, and you are so fascinated by anything that is not answered. You're probably into detectives, into movies that are trying to unload something unusual, something beautiful, something very mysterious. You like history, and you like true horror. You like everything that is very dark and very unique in a way that no one knows the answer, no one knows exactly what it is. And the more the thing is unusual, mysterious, or secretive, the more you will be attached to it. Your soul is forever a student of the most interesting things, and you might be like really, really good at your studies, like a very good student, straight A's and everything, but also you could be very bad at studies because you have very specific mind that if you're not interested, if the subject is not peculiar or not unusual enough for you, you are not going to study at all. You're very selective about what you put in your mind, and your mind can just be attached to some crazy idea, maybe even conspiracy theory, maybe even something about occult, like maybe alchemy. And unless you know everything there is there about it, you will not stop. But the moment you realize that there is nothing more that you can uncover, that you can learn from the specific topic, you can just drop it and never come back to it. You are always a learner, a guru, and a teacher, a guide to many other people. The reason why you learn it is because you want to share. Whatever it is you learn that is like very dear to your heart, you make sure that it's coming out from you in a way of an art piece or a book or a YouTube channel, and you find a way to deliver this information in your own unique way that draws people in, because you always have the freshest perspective, the more unusual thing to say or to show. You always find some kind of things that actually can coexist together, like two different opinions or two different sides of the same story, of the same knowledge. And this is very interesting because you like to spend a lot of time doing your research, and sometimes you get hung up by doing research for something that you don't even need, but only because it's fascinated your mind for the specific moment or the specific reason. You're the one who is very curious, so that's why you always ask questions, and you're never satisfied with short answers. You always know when people are lying to you, and that's why if you dedicate your life to conspiracy theories, you actually might come up with the answers to the most unusual, the most crazy ideas. And you had many reincarnations where you've been studying science. You've been someone like Nikola Tesla, someone who created something unusual, but the whole society turned against you because you were ahead of your time, because you were too unusual, because you used your mind in the most unique way that no one is using it. And very difficult for you to actually talk about the things that inspires you and the things that fascinates you, because other people, they're just not as deep, they don't understand what you're talking about, or maybe you becoming like too out of line because your minds, your beautiful crazy minds, you have so many opinions and you have so many ideas how the things are supposed to be working on this planet. And when you know that you're right, you might be very very strict with people, you know, when very condescending sometimes, but I don't blame you. You know, you're different, you're special, and sometimes this normal society that is around you, they don't deserve you, they don't appreciate you. So if you have the right tools, if you have the right connections, if you have the right resources, you can actually bring some crazy knowledge into the light, something that our society still is not aware of. And let's see, our next question is, what is the lesson in your suffering? Because usually great minds, geniuses like you are, you guys suffer a lot, you suffer more than common folks. And let's see the lesson in your suffering, why it's happening with you. For you, it's interesting. You actually like to suffer because suffering brings you ideas and inspiration, especially if you are into art in this lifetime. Your art is very unusual, and when you feel suffering, this is where the greatest ideas are born, and this is how your magic resurfaces. And your sufferings bring you money. So the lesson is here that you don't have to run away from your suffering, you have to turn it into money. So whatever it is you're going through should become your main profession. So the main source of your suffering, the biggest trauma of your life, should be turned around, and it should bring you money and wealth and fame. So if you went through something in the childhood, maybe you should become a therapist, and this suffering will bring you fame, because the things that you're going to talk about and the way you're going to approach it, it might be change the whole system of healing, trauma healing. And if the trauma is because you're not being understood, maybe showing yourself to others and showing how it is to be misunderstood and how to be a lone wolf will help you to become famous again, and will bring you opportunities and money and resources to help other people. The main lesson and the main goal of your suffering is to bring every devastating moment of your life into money, into material success. Because if you know how it is to feel to be hurt, if you know how it is to have trauma, how it is to feel the pain, you can relate to so many other people who are going through this shadow times of their life and they don't know how to talk about it, or they don't know how to help themselves. You are there to be of help to others. And the last question, what is your soul myth? What is your journey, the journey of your soul through every reincarnation that you have, the biggest story of your soul? It's so interesting. Your soul is, in a way, the angel of punishment, the karma, the judgment. You are, for some people, the devil. You are someone who, for your belief and your beliefs and your ideas, you were able to wage a war. You were able to start a revolution. You are this kind of person that every reincarnation you've done something historical, something insane. Your name is in the history book, and actually not just one name, it's 17 different names, 17 different lifetimes, reincarnations, that you've been a very famous revolutionary, war leader, someone who built an empire, someone who started, maybe you were the leader of the Knights Templars, or maybe you've been a leader of crazy revolution in the 18th century France or something. You've done so much. And your soul is always seek justice, sometimes revenge, and you like to conquer and you like to build empires. If in this lifetime it is your dream to build an empire, even if it's online empire, even if it's interesting empire, maybe it is the empire that you write in your books, but this need for the empire comes from your empires that you used to have before. And maybe if you're not so into war this time, but you always like watching conflicts in the world, you always watching who is conquering whom and who's wages the war. It's like you are so understanding about the politics. You have this deep idea, understanding how the world works, how the wars, how the governments rule, even though maybe you're very far away from the politics and you never study them, but you have this understanding that you're so wise that some people even ask, why do you think this happening or that happening? They go to you for political advice, or they always fascinated by your knowledge, even though you've never been close to the politics. And this is because every reincarnation your soul chooses this interesting path for you to go and experience the conquest. Your biggest myth is how you change the shape of the world in every reincarnation, how you changed the map, and how you maybe explored new worlds and new destinations. If in this reincarnation you have like two different modalities, you either crazy into traveling and you want to travel the world and only traveling brings you happiness, it is something to do again with your past lives, or you are such a person that seeks comfort and you don't want to travel anywhere. You just want to sit in one place and know where your next meal is coming from and where your next entertainment will be and where you go next, and you have plans for years ahead and you don't care about any changes because you really love your routine and you want to feel safe and grounded in your day-to-day tasks, all coming back from your soul's myth and stories. And if there are historical people, historical events that you're so drawn to, that is your favorite thing to watch movies about or to read books about, or there is a historical figure that you are so fascinated about and you never stop talking about them, it means it was your reincarnation. It means it was you. Especially if this historical figure is very niche and very obscure, not many people know about him or her, it's such a confirmation for you that this is you. So your soul is all about traveling, conquest, is about following the idea, your own personal interesting idea. And it's like, if I would look at your past lives now, if you had a personal reading, I would say to you that every reincarnation, it was like a movie. Now you can create a movie about every person that you used to be, and it will be so interesting. And I can say that you have one specific myth that you follow throughout every reincarnation that you have, is more that your soul wants to be different person in every reincarnation. Your soul wants to travel the planet, and if you ask me why, I would tell you because you're definitely not from the earth. You're from some other planet, and for you every reincarnation is such an interesting, unique way of exploring our planet. And that's why you're so fascinated by interesting things and places, and you're sometimes fascinated by just like small, tiny things that no one even notices, because it's all foreign to you. Even though you've been so many times reincarnated on this planet, and it still doesn't feel like home. It's still, your mind wonders what is out there. Maybe you're into astrology, astronomy, into cosmic knowledge, into cosmic ideas. You want to know, maybe you even follow NASA, maybe you're into research of other planets, maybe you even have a telescope at home. But it is all about your soul being able to explore this planet with every reincarnation that you get. Well, I can say both of these piles are very unusual, very interesting combination of cards, very interesting things that I got from them. Again, let me know which pile you chose and if the reading resonated with you or not. And don't forget to give me any other ideas for the next readings that are coming. I can't wait to see you in my next video, and I wish you all the happiness in the world.